Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday. And we're back in the Edinburgh. Yeah. So, funny little, I guess not so funny, but a story all the same. I've been playing a lot of British ships recently, and that's because of the freaking executor missions they have out. To where if you finally complete them all, you get the tier 5 heavy cruiser from the British Islands. British Islands. This is going to be a great commentary, I can tell already. The Executor. Which means it requires playing a lot of British ships. Mostly tier 6 through 8. And today we're finally showing off the Edinburgh. And I think I finally actually managed to get Concealment Expert on this captain. So I'm actually decently stealthy. Now we are playing on Northern Light, and I am joined with Xenomancer in the Low Yang. And as you can see, there are 2 CVs in this battle. So things are going to be a little bit exciting, to say the very least. The Edinburgh's AA is decent, but it's not as impressive as obviously like Neptune and even the American ships. Now, don't get me wrong, the AA is fantastic, is really good, and can do quite a bit of damage, but if a CV goes after you, you probably are going to take the hits. Now, Xeno pushes in with the Low Yang, gets detected, and instantly finds ourselves a Sasio, aka the Soul of the Sea. Yeah, some fortunate timing on his part, especially running into both a Low Yang and a Edinburgh is not really in his favor, because obviously a Sasio cannot actually hit anyone with torpedoes, so he is pretty much going to die unless he can get behind the islands. But once again, a Edinburgh shooting you plus a Low Yang probably is going to mean the eventual death. Looks like the Asasio actually did. No, sorry, that is actually the CV. CV dropped torpedoes. There are, once again, 2 CVs in this battle, a Shikaku and I believe a Ruho, if memory serves me. Yes, so both double IGN CVs. We have a Ruho ourselves, and I'm trying to actually see what we have, but unfortunately I don't quite see it, but that's alright. So, as you can see, the enemy team is kind of chilled. They're not really pushing in, they're not really taking any advantage. Now that's the thing with CVs. It's completely changed the meta as of recently. Previously, and for the most part, whenever there's no CV, we'll talk about no CV, teams are obviously a lot more aggressive. Destroyers are more aggressive because they're less likely to be instantly detected by a CV. But even battleships tend to be a little bit more aggressive. Cruisers tend to be a little bit more aggressive. And that's because of the fear of being detected and being focused on by the CV. So the matter of fact of having CVs, including double CVs, which obviously means that each CV can take generally a side, does change the whole aspect of a battle. Now, this can go 2 ways. Teams can clump up, sit in the back, and allow the enemy team to push, while obviously the other route is pushing with the CV's help and being that aggressive, pushing them back. And also due to the fact that our DDs are able to get in range, drop torpedoes, cause havoc. So you can see how the meta really changes. And for the most part, you're usually going to have one of those 2 teams, where you're going to have a team that likes to stick in the back, don't really push, and just eventually get focused down one by one. Enemy team is surprisingly the latter of these 2. So you will probably be seeing. Now, obviously, we are being detected by the Shikaku, and once again, the AA is decent on the Edinburgh. Not overly impressive, but still fairly decent. Now, do know there is a lightning around. Did see on the minimap that he had essentially left D, and for whatever reason, on this map, and obviously north as well, going to the far eastern side is still a fan favorite for whatever reason. As you can see, they have, I think, 2 battleships and the Graspe over on the 9-10 line. Still don't see a huge benefit, especially for battleships. Cruisers, I could see, you know, possibly doing that because you can and tend to be a little bit quicker. And yeah, unfortunately I'm gonna eat a torp. Fortunately, doesn't cause too much damage, but we are chewing up the airplanes and we're able to actually kind of pull out the smoke. Now once again, I am actually kind of worried about that lightning. Lightning's still around there somewhere, expecting torpedoes, but surprisingly he does not do that, which is very interesting. Now in this time, which is very slow. Okay, I was wrong. There are the torpedoes incoming, and of course the Gneisenau now decides to push in at this very inopportune time, and unfortunately for him, does look like he is going to eat a few torpedoes, and obviously he is currently dealing with the CV, the Lightning, the Nelson, and the Monarch. You can guess how this is going to turn out for him. But at the exact same time, I'm actually about to lose my own protection, and that means I'm going to try to quickly get out of there. Fortunately, the Gneisenau now is at least going to offer us essentially a scapegoat. Unfortunately for him, probably not really wanting to be the scapegoat, but he does allow at least myself to kind of get out of the area. Now, I do have 30 seconds still left on the time until my next smoke screen, and the CV really does not like me at this time. As you can see, he's starting to bring in the dive bombers. Now those dive bombers can hurt a British cruiser. I mean, guess technically I'm a little bit right there. A British cruiser. Because they are armor piercing and they can actually citadel a British cruiser, but fortunately for us, we're able to at least dodge it. Now the enemy team is actually ahead in ships. They're currently 1. They were 2 ships ahead of us, and they're actually starting to push down south. Arujo is surprisingly very close. Zeno is actually doing a really good job. He's been kind of harassing these Clevelands that are pushing around the corner. Actually managed to land 2 torpedo hits on that Nelson, but that Nelson is gonna be able to at least slide in, and I don't remember if that Nelson has actually been firing armor piercing shells or HE. Either way, really do not want to deal with it. We are detected. I believe that was momentarily by, I'm gonna guess that's probably the Lightning that actually detected us. And once again, CVs are definitely a pain because even though they can't fully see you in a smoke, they can still see your trails and they can still land torpedo hits. Now unfortunately for us, not really able to see where exactly his planes are, but he is coming back around for another attack, and this is kind of funny. As you can see, there's no indication of where those torpedoes are until right then. Unless I'm very blind, I missed it myself. So fortunately we didn't eat a flood, or didn't get flooding on our ship, but we did obviously take another hit, and there's only so much our heel can do. Now we have switched over our attention towards these Clevelands that are still once again pushing in. Now, fortunately for us, they're doing it one at a time. Granted, there is a Colorado that is currently pushing around the corner, so at least we're able to at least assist there. Now, the enemy team has managed to capture C because no one was able to shoot that Nelson, which was really unfortunate. And unfortunately for us, our smoke screen is actually starting to dissipate So we do have to be a little bit careful, especially considering there is the fact that the Nelson is still behind us, plus the Colorado is coming around the corner, and a Cleveland and Colorado. Yeah, things are a little dicey right now. Kinda outgunned here. If we can get rid of this Cleveland, that will help immensely. Fortunately, Cleveland is smart and actually fires HE at myself instead of switching over to armor piercing, because had he actually switched over to AP, I could actually ricochet and prove harmless his AP, but he does stick with that HE. But at the exact same time, he does show a lot of broadside, and unfortunately for us, we're having to eat another salvo, and yeah, things are a little dicey. Fortunately for us, this Cleveland has decided AP is the best choice to shoot at a bow on target, especially considering it's a Cleveland with 152s. Yeah, the Colorado is definitely the far more terrifying target at this time, but fortunately for us, our smoke screen should be up. My only hope is the Colorado does not get his guns reloaded in time. Smoke screen is fully deployed and no longer detected. Hopefully this Colorado's shots should miss us, as we are trying to finish off this Cleveland. And it does look like the Colorado has missed his salvo. Can we actually finish off this Cleveland? That would be fantastic. But I guess we should probably focus this Colorado. Now, granted, the Colorado could probably land a good hit at us, even blind firing. But even then, it's definitely a risk, and he has a low gang that's starting to charge him. Now, the enemy team, keep in mind, they actually had the advantage. They had the ship advantage, and I believe they had the point advantage for a little bit. And this is where they're kind of starting to falter, because kind of keep an eye on our Ruho right now. Ruho is being very brave. Actually, I'm actually kind of curious, because I did not see this while I was in the battle. But he's obviously dealing with a lightning that's firing at him. Our Massachusetts is coming around, and once again, very odd positioning from that Massachusetts. But hey, it I guess kind of worked out in the end. Colorado should go down. There we go. That is kill number 2 for us. And now we can start being a little bit more aggressive. Now our Ruho is surprisingly still alive, which is actually very amusing. Let's see if he stays for that. Oh no. Yeah, he's not going to survive this, because he is in fact going to be facing off against a Nelson, 2 Nelsons actually, and a Monarch. But fortunately for us, that one Nelson is going to go down. Kind of was hoping for the kill, because I think in this battle I was trying to go for medals and awards once again for the Executor mission that was being done at that time. So obviously main focus is trying to focus on trying to get as much damage, trying to get that Confederate Kraken would have been nice, but instead we're just gonna have to try to focus on trying to get as much damage. And keep in mind, we've done 128,000 points of damage right now. And yes, hopefully you guys can actually hear that. That is sirens going off in the background. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to moving to a quieter place where recording is definitely a lot easier and less road ragey at times. Now, kind of stole that kill. And surprisingly, our Lexington actually went down as well. The Shikaku took out our friendly Lexington. Now, we actually have quite a bit of time. We are obviously 400 points ahead. There's about 5.5 minutes left. That there is a possibility of getting more damage, and once again, that's kind of what I'm really hoping for. And I am asking Zeno there not to fully cap C, because obviously if C is captured, we'd win that much quicker. And there's a possibility that there is a carrier still around. Now we can see the carrier was up at that island right up there. Now what are the chances that this entire battle, and keep in mind, he was spotted probably very beginning of this battle. what's the chances of him actually still staying there, not moving positions exactly when he is well aware that ships are starting to come up towards his position? Oh. Apparently the chances were very, very good because he managed to stay in that exact same position the entire time that this battle has been going on, not moving from a single spot. And that's, I guess, one thing anyone is playing CB is don't just route yourself to a spot. You are a carrier, not an Air Force base. You can move around. And yes, the Shikaku is obviously going after us, which is unfortunate. And don't know why he dropped both of his groups. Probably to ensure that they survive a little bit longer. And right now, our best bet, ooh, ouch, is trying to survive as much as possible. Fortunately, our heal is still going on, so we're going to get back a little bit of our health. And there we go, there's Confederate, and unfortunately the Shikaku is broadside to us, so our AP does a really fantastic job. And earned high caliber as well, wow. 155,000 points of damage. Now I am extraordinarily low on health, 5,476. Might as well drop torpedoes. Now obviously this carrier is probably a little busy, and his thoughts is try to get as much damage as possible. But honestly, if you're a CB and you're getting hit, you might want to move. I mean, hey, that's just a suggestion, because keep in mind those torpedoes that were dropped are in fact going to land and make it our fourth kill of the game. And that is actually going to be about it, because as the CB drops, there's not much else they can do. And that is essentially the game. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day, because this battle was fantastic as we shoot another plane down. Zaijian.